Hey Bookworms, welcome back. I know it's been almost an entire month since the beginning of the year 2016, but still, better late than never, I decided to share with you now my reading list for this following year, or more likely for the next 10 years, because oh my god, this list is huge. This list is a little different from other lists here on BookTube, because as you will see, a lot of these books are not new at all. Actually, most of them are really old, like classic old or just old. I've decided, let's call it a New Year resolution, to stop buying new books until I start reading the books that I already have on my shelf. Some of these books that I have here have been lying in my shelf for, I don't know, maybe 5 years, and I've never touched them, and you know, enough. I just store new books. I need to start reading them. Some of them are translated into Hebrew because I bought them while I was still living in Israel, which was, you know, I moved to Germany a little more than a year ago, so yes, old. So I decided I'll stop buying new books until I finish reading all the books here, but the last time I counted, I had about 23 books on this list that I'm going to share with you, so I decided to change it into, for every 2 books that I'm reading from my shelf, I'm allowing myself to buy a new book. Let's see how that one goes. And you're probably wondering, wow, 23 books you haven't read. How many books do you have that you actually read? Well, more than 23, just so you know. So anyway, in case you're interested, I'll try to go through them pretty fast. I don't see a reason to stop and talk about each book because, first of all, there are a lot, and secondly, I haven't read them yet, so I'll probably have nothing to say except what's on the back cover, and you guys can read it for yourselves. So in case you're interested and I was going too fast or something, I will do a list of each and every book. I just put it in the description box, sorry, so you'll be able to see all the names. So yeah, that's gonna be a long one, so grab yourself some coffee or popcorn and let's get started. I'm going to start with a book that I'm currently reading. This is The Historian by Elizabeth Kostova. Yes, translated into Hebrew like I warned you. As you can see, I'm kind of toward the middle. I won't tell you right now what I think about this book. Obviously, you will have to wait for the review, whenever that will be. The Raw Shard text by Stephen Hall, supposed to be really cool and weird and peculiar. Weird and peculiar and bizarre and strange. Anyway, should be really cool and weird. The Luminaries should be right up my alley. Something about Victorian England and a murder mystery. That's enough for me to read it. Fahrenheit 451, a classic. Should read it. Red Dragon. I've already read Silence of the Lambs. I talked about it more than once in here. That was really amazing. I've seen the movie, you know, should read the book. The Woman in White. That should be some sort of mystery classic that I've heard a lot about. I should really read this. You know me, I love my mysteries. The Instant of Fingerprints, a really strange translation to Hebrew, but whatever. I hope the translation of the book itself is better. It should be another kind of a classic that somebody recommended me, but I've never heard about it except this recommendation. So, you know, it doesn't matter to me as long as it's good. So, let's see. I have 2 books by Jasper Fforde, whom I love very much. The first one is Something Rotten. This is the 5th of the Thursday Next series, and yes, there is a bookmark. I started reading it and then I stopped, and then the bookmark fell and I couldn't find where I was, so I just stuck it in a place that seemed fit. Anyway, I think I'll just start it from the beginning. I think it would be better. And the second book is Shades of Grey, that I thought it was a standalone, but apparently it's the first of another series, and I missed a book. Another book by Jasper Fforde that I should read is right here. The Fourth Bear. This is the second of his nursery crime series. I really love the first one, and the reason I haven't started this one yet is because there isn't a third one yet. So I thought, you know, I'll start this, I will finish it, and then there won't be any more, and I will be very disappointed. So the moment I'll see that there's a third one, I'll start reading this one. If that makes sense. If you've ever done something like this, tell me. DrachenMahr. This is an original German book that my husband got me. We were at a bookshop and he picked up this book and said, wow, that's really up your alley. It's kind of medieval-ish, it has dragons, and it has a murder mystery, and we need to read this together, my husband and me, because he's fluent in German and my German is definitely not good enough to read this kind of grown-up book. So we're going to read this together. It's going to be a very interesting project. The 12 Chairs. This is a Russian classic and I've seen the movie and I really loved it. And I really hope that I'll be able to get all the humor here, because a lot of people I know, mostly from my Russian family, said that you really need to know about communism and to really live there in order to really get this book. I hope I'll be able to, even though I've never been there. I never lived in a communist society. I did read Master and Margarita and, you know, I survived. Let's see what happened with this one. I really hope it should be really, really funny. Speaking of foreign classic, this is The Day Lasts More Than 100 Years, which should be really, really amazing and fantastic. And this is, I think, the oldest book that I have on my shelf. This is definitely at least 5 years old in terms of, you know, being on my shelf. It came out long before that, but it should be a real beautiful classic, beautiful book, and I should definitely read it. This is another Russian translation, which I have absolutely no problem reading in Hebrew, because, you know, I don't speak the original. I usually try, if the original is in English, to read it in English. Another Russian translation. This is Boris Akunin's She Lover of Death. It's part of the Fendoran series, which is another sort of murder mystery, history related kind of book, and it has to do with Shakespeare and mass suicide. So, you know, I've read the first book in the series. It's called Azazel, and it has another name in different languages, but it's really interesting because it combines history and mystery. Sounds good. I have two biographies here. The first one is of Goethe, and I got it in Weimar, which is where he comes from, and they really love him there. They're really proud of him and everything. It's Goethe here and Goethe there, and this is the coffee shop where he used to sit in, and, you know, everything is about him. So I thought, you know, I'll get this. This is in English, by the way, not German. Come on, I'm not that masochistic. And the second biography is It's Me, Remember, Agatha Christie's secret notebooks, which should be really, really interesting. Speaking of, Halloween Party and The Clocks, both by Agatha Christie, both starring Hercule Poirot, which is the only detective of her that I can actually read. The only one that I like. You holding up, guys? We're almost finished. Next book is Telegraph Avenue by Michael Chabon. I have no idea what this book is about, but it's by Michael Chabon, and I'm in love with Michael Chabon's writing, so there we go. Fatherland. What would have happened if Nazi Germany would have won World War II? Hogfather, The Last Continent, and Soul Music, all by Terry Pratchett. This might take a while, since it takes me forever to read Terry Pratchett books. I don't know what it is about them, but each and every book that I read of him, it takes me forever to read. Oh my god, guys, we're down to the last two books. Whew. These two are actually originally in Hebrew, and as much as I don't really like Israeli literature, this is one author that I actually like. These books are The Day the Music Died, and in English they decided to call it The Book of Disorder. I have no idea how to translate this word into English. I won't even try. But anyway, he wrote a book called Ends World, which was absolutely amazing. His name is Ophir Tushigapla, and Ends World was translated into English in case you're interested. And that was absolutely amazing. I really hope these two books will be just as good or even better if it's possible. So these are the last two books that I have on this 2006 reading list, even though, you know, I won't read them necessarily in the order which I showed you. I just piled them up and picked a book from the pile and showed it to you. I have no idea how long it's going to take me to read all these books. I'm going to at least try. if I'm going to see that there's a book that I'm trying to read and it's not interesting, it's not really my style, I will stop in the middle. I don't see a reason to force myself to read a book that I'm not interested in. So I'm waiting for your comments. Comment on anything you want on any of these books. If you read them, if you like them, if you dislike them, comment and tell me if there's any particular book from this list that you would like to see a review on. Like this video, please. I need the mental support to actually do this, because there are a lot of books out there that I want to buy and read, so I need to get going. So like, comment really on whatever you want. Subscribe to my channel if you dare, and if you want to see any of these books getting a review. And I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.